Hello friends, welcome to this channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. In today's episode, I'm going to discuss about data-driven decision-making opportunities in pharma digital supply chain management. Now, since this topic is quite a large one, it's got too many areas to be covered up, I have split it up into three parts. So this is a part one. So before starting, actually just wanted to share you our thoughts onto this particular channel and what we want to do it over here. What is our plan? There's a concept of Center of Excellence Pharma 4 is designed considering the integration of three major areas like emerging technologies, which cover cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, blockchain, IoT, chatbot, and how these various technologies can support the challenges and problems in pharma industry. With this concept, we have developed a website which is respa.com. We have also designed and developed a complete course about smart manufacturing in pharma, having about 20 modules on Udemy platform. I do suggest and request all of you to follow Udemy platform also. We launched a YouTube channel about 5 years back, which has got more than 300 videos, which is covering starting from business strategy designing, going up to the validations and audits about the entire digital supply chain management. Our podcast channels has got more than 70 podcasts, and this particular podcast is I'm going to discuss. You can share this, your thoughts, comments, feedback, also with your network. We have a book series where you can have a Kindle as well as a book pack. And this is available on Amazon. Right now, there are 6 books are already been published. So please have a look at that also. So in today's session, this whole podcast will have following points to be discussed. One is, of course, introduction, digital transformation imperatives, current digital maturity, digital forecasting and inventory optimization, production planning and manufacturing excellence, quality control and regulatory compliance, logistic and distribution optimization, risk management and supply chain resilience, implementing data-driven supply chain transformation, and conclusion. So let's start with the introduction. All industries, especially pharma, is going through a data revolution in the pharma. What is this data revolution? It's a adoption of these technologies of like digitization. We were shifting from analog systems to digital system. And this integration of various areas where this data is being captured, mainly into the digital supply chain management, is going to work as a competitive differentiator with your other pharma companies. And this is significant value which can unlock through the data-driven decision making. That's what is our objective. How this data can really help you to improve your operation, performance, productivity, profitability, etc. So what are the benefits which a company can achieve by adoption of this advanced analytics and digital technologies. You can have a reduction into the inventory cost, which can go up to 15 to 30%. You will have improvements into forecast accuracy that can go up by 10 to 40%, and it will decrease the overall supply chain cost from 5 to 15%. That's going to be a substantial thing in a present competitive industries. So what are the challenges in the industry? The main challenge is increasing the pricing pressure, because as you have seen, it's a now global competition, and all industries are having challenges into the pricing pressures. Second thing is that regulatory scrutiny, regulatory requirements, regulatory documentation is all increasing, which requires a lot of efforts and finally needs resources. And then the third factor is patients are expecting. Their expectations are increasing. Many patients who are having serious diseases are expecting the personalized medicines also, which is where a lot of pharma companies are now focusing it and all that. So with this introduction, let's look at it. What are the challenges in present traditional supply chain management? So in the present traditional system, there are a lot of inefficiencies are there. As I was discussing in the last slide, there are data silos are there. That means it's stored into the different areas. It could be materials, quality, production, distribution, logistics, maintenance, and all that. And this data is not really getting shared with all those other stakeholders. And this is where it's a fragmented information is there. So manual processes also causes the delay. The data sharing is not there. So a lot of things are captured in the manual ways and all, and that takes a lot of time. And then the reactive decision making is impacting the efficiency. So there are persistent challenges are there, inventory imbalances are there, that is affecting the availability of the material, and then that reduces your production capacity. Quality deviations are there, that is where you are compromising the standards. Limited end-to-end visibility is there, that is where hindering the oversights into there. There are more and more complexities are getting into because of this, what we have seen in the COVID. It has made those pharma supply chains are more complex and all that. And diverse geographies are getting introduced, and that requires a lot of coordinated efforts from many stakeholders and all. At the same time, strict regulatory requirements are also necessitating the compliances and all that. And this is where the data-driven optimization can really play a role, for facing all these challenges. So there is a shift which is going to have from analog systems to the data-driven decision-making system. So traditional systems which were really working on only onto the historical data and experience based onto those skills who are operating those processes and systems and all that. So they had a limited adaptability in changing the market conditions. Because now everything is being market driven. It's a demand driven. It's basically based on to the customers or the patients and all that. So there is a shift which is really happening is from analog systems to the data-driven decision making and all. And this is a fundamental change into the supply chain management and all. So this is moving from the reactive to proactive and predictive operations and all. This is a big change, in the operations as well as in the mindset of the people or the skills who are operating those processes and all. And this has to get alignment to the Pharma 4 vision, what really we are looking and planning it out and all. And that emphasizes on intelligent connected system which leverages the real-time data for optimal decisions and all, and that reduces the needs for the human interventions. So that it's a process driven, it's automation, and that will also go on taking a decision for the repetitive operations and all. Now it is moving to the competitive advantage. So when we talk about a competitive advantage, you are looking for improving the agility, the flexibilities into the operation. We have to see that it enhances the quality controls measures. It optimizes the resource utilization, and which will give a impact onto the profit and market, which is going to grow up and all that actually. So maybe 20-30% higher profitability can really come if you achieve a digitally mature organization. We are going to discuss those digital maturity also in the future. And that will help in a 20% higher market share from the company's point of view. Now, as I've been discussed earlier also, it's the impact of COVID is also checking up and all. And that is going to accelerate the digital transformation in the industry, which is going to expose the vulnerabilities in traditional supply chain model and highlighted value of digital capabilities. So that is what is the thing which we have to really consider it. As I discussed on the last slide, is we have to see digital maturity level where the organization stands as on today. So what is being seen is almost all pharma supply chains are really lagging as on today because they are much behind compared with the other industries. And pharma is in that case is a slow mover into adoptions of the technology. There are many reasons are there. I'm not going to get it into all that at this moment of time, but you all are aware about it. And the many organizations are still working and using onto the legacy system. So there are challenges in legacy system. It's difficult in integrating the data. As we know, I mentioned earlier also about the digital supply chain management, where we are planning to integrate starting from demand planning, supply planning, operations planning, and everything gets integrated and all. Today, since as I mentioned, they are into an analog-based siloed systems and all, and they are not integrated it over here. So decision making remains incomplete because we are not really aware about the entire data for your decision making. And our focus, as I mentioned into our title also, it's a data-driven decision making, which is really to be there. So maybe this is a rough estimate seen from the survey. This only 20% or 21% are having some advanced digital maturity, not a full scale, but some starting and all that. And most companies are still in the early or a developing stage and all. So there is a huge opportunity for transformative change, and digital gap presents the challenges and opportunities. So visionary leadership is really required to drive the transformative change actually. So what are the foundational challenges? The foundational challenges are the data quality issues are there, system integration barriers are there, organizational silos are there, which I mentioned earlier also, and regulatory compliance requirements are increasing. And all. Now, how we can overcome this? Now, this is where a holistic approach is required. What is the holistic approach? It's a people, processes, and technology. So you need to have a technology infrastructure, you need a data, you need a organizational capabilities from the skills and all that. And maybe you have to do the process redesigning and all that. So that is what is the thing which is really required. And this is where I always discuss about the people, processes, and technology. That's the holistic approach is required. And companies have to put a lot of efforts in establishing that digital supply chain center of excellence. I mentioned during the introduction, our focus is mainly on a center of excellence. This is where we want to see, and that can only lead to achieving the Pharma 4 achievements and all that. Now, what are those advanced analytics and for the demand planning and all that actually? As you know, mentioned earlier that traditional systems has got a lot of limitation. Now, the entire pharma business starts with the demand planning or the demand forecasting and all, and which presently depends upon heavily onto the historical sales data. And what is really happening is that it fails to capture the market dynamics and emerging trends. And as you know, presently a lot of changes are happening into the market. There are a number of reasons are there. So you can't just rely onto the old historical data. You have to really capture what is really happening into the market, and then you have to plan your entire supply chain operations according to that. So you need to have an integration about the demand signal, which can be feed as far as the prescription data, maybe epidemiological trends, social media sentiment, weather pattern, healthcare providers' behaviors. A lot of those factors are there which you have to consider it for developing a accurate demand forecasting or demand planning and all that. And that is will benefit the advanced analytics platform, which will be more accurate and more responsive to the forecast. And that will detect the patterns and then the correlation, which we can correlate to work it out the demand forecasting. Now, machine learning is another technology which plays a very important role in developing the algorithms for the forecasting. So advanced machine learning algorithms are there, and those help in moving the simple time series or complex multivariate forecasting. These are the algorithms which can be adopted. So it all depends upon the nature of your business, the product, the geographies which have been covered up and all that. And according to that, you can design, develop it, and maybe our various courses on to uh, YouTube and Udemy and podcasts will help you into that also. In fact, we also have a book specially drawn onto AI Pulse Pharma for supply chain. That will also will be very helpful to you. Some of the case studies which have been seen into the internet that some global pharma company has said that they started adoption of the AI-driven forecasting system, which really helped them to reduce the forecast error by 37% for the mature product and up 25% onto the new products launch and all that. And they can really reduce those very much variables and all, and that has given an impact on to inventory optimization benefits. It's a reduction of safety stocks and increase this into the stock out conditions and all that. So there are going to be substantial benefits you can achieve it from the machine learning. Then next is the demand sensing technology. As I mentioned earlier, into there are some of those parameters which are going to capture the data and feed it into the system, so which will help you in the demand sensing technologies, which will help you in reducing the forecast error by maybe 3 to 5%. It depends upon your present digital maturity and all that. But definitely on the long term, forecasting methods can be developed it and all that. And then rapid response to the market change will be there, which enables the quick detection and response to the demand changes. And particularly, it's more valuable during the supply disruptions and unexpected market events. No, on the both sides, it could be on the demand side or it could be on the supply side as also. And preservations of the market shares. Agile responses will help to preserve preserve your market share. Suppose today you have a 20%, and with the competition, you may find it difficult to maintain that. But if you adopt to this technology, you can be sure that no, it will maintain it 20 and it can go up also. And that will give ensure that patients also access to those critical medications. And now this will also have an impact onto inventory optimization. So that will be helpful by adoption of digital twins. Now, what is this digital twin? It's actually a replica about the virtual we from your scenario planning. What is really happening it at the shop floor, you can create those virtual by adoptions of the digital twin, and that will get reflected from the your physical supply chains and all that. And your scenario planning can help you to see and optimize those processes and all that. So simulation of this entire supply chain will help from starting from the raw material availability, manufacturing capacity, distribution consents, no, all those can be linked up together and all that. And that this integration with a digital twin can help you to improve the supply chain efficiencies and all that. This will also help you to optimize the inventory levels and help you to improve the overall efficiency, by even reducing the inventory levels also. So it both gets benefits onto this. Now, artificial intelligence can help in optimizing the inventory systems also. It will be ideal for maintaining your safety stock level. It will go on continuously calculating the demand variability. Depending upon your market fluctuations, you can see, and the lead time, which is uncertainty, that you can really work it out, with the suppliers and all those things, and then that will help you to maintain your service levels, into the market. Now, continuous recalibration. This is going to be a continuous process about the changes which are really happening into the market, and accordingly, the inventory levels can be managed, can be changed, can be monitored, and all that. So that can lead to a reduction in the working capital, since you are always blocking the money into your inventory levels. Monitoring those inventory levels to minimum levels or optimum level can help you to reduce those inventory, and that will get reflected onto your working capital requirements and all that. So maybe 35 or 40% increases into the write-off which is doing during the expiration. No? As you know, the products are there for a limited time, depending upon the shelf life which planning. It could be 18 months to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, according to that. And then you have to throw out those expired products or drugs and all that. So monitoring that will help you. So your even the wastage reductions can be also reduced, and that will also be an add-on benefits to you. So intangible. Then we have to also think about the real-time inventory visibility, how that can come. We have to have that end-to-end transparency, which will be there available by complete visibility across the supply chain management. So your all these technologies, digital transformation will help in data-driven decision making and help you to monitor the supply network, which there could be a blind spot where you are not really aware about those stock levels or something like that, and maybe you're trying to keep it on the higher side, which is blocking the money also. So your better decision making can really improve onto that actually. Integration of data from the warehouse transportations to the partner system, and they all can be integrated, and that will have a add-on benefit from maintaining the support or the to the patients, at the same time maintaining the minimum inventory levels is also going to help you into that. And there's also some references, case studies are there that a company has achieved almost 35% of reduction in expediting the shipments and all that. And 40% reduction in the inventory transfers between the locations and all. So there are quite going to be substantial benefits and all. So this is where I'm just going to stop it for the part one. Again, I'm suggesting and requesting all of you to look at it, other social media operations where we have a presence, and we have already discussed and shared more details relevant to this particular topic also. Feel free to share your thoughts, suggestions to us. Share with your network also. Thank you. Bye.